Just imagine, you wake up one morning and your government tells you this. Sorry, you are no longer a citizen of India. This is not fiction. It actually happened in 2019 when 19 lakh people did not find their names in what government called National Register of Citizens, the NRC. But here's the shocking part. The very government who created the list rejected their own results. But why? What is NRC? Let's deep dive into this topic. First, let's start with the very basics of NRC. National Register of Citizens. It is supposed to be a simple list of all the genuine Indian citizens. Way too simple. And here's the more interesting fact. NRC is not at all a new concept. The NRC was legally mandated way back in 2003 through an amendment to the Citizenship Act of 1955. But for more than decades, it remained actually only on paper. But why? Because creating a citizenship database for more than 100 crore people, actually it's 145 crore now, is just like trying to count every grain of sand on a beach while the tide keeps on changing. But what was the stated purpose of NRC? Simply identifying and deporting the illegal immigrants. A simple goal, but way too complex execution. Now, coming to the source of NRC protests, why did it actually start from Assam? The geography matters here, friends. Assam shares a 262-kilometer border with Bangladesh. After the 1971 Bangladesh Liberation War, millions of refugees crossed over. Some stayed, some returned, and some, well, nobody actually kept records. Well, first of all, let me tell you a completely fascinating fact. Assam had a register of citizens since 1951, which is almost similar to NRC nowadays. Just like the gym membership which you purchased but completely out of your mind. Fast forward to 1983, the government created the Illegal Migrants Act, but due to several limitations in 2005, the Supreme Court says this is unconstitutional and strikes it down. So the government actually promised to update Assam's NRC. Classic example of Indian bureaucracy. Promise big, deliver nothing, or if something, that also in an indefinite period of time. By 2013, the Supreme Court lost completely its patience. They literally took over the process and started monitoring it themselves. Just imagine the shamelessness, inefficiency, and laziness of the bureaucracy in our country that the Supreme Court has to become their project manager to remind them of their duty-bound tasks. August 31st, 2019, the final Assam NRC is published. Out of the 3.3 crore applicants, only 3.1 crore names make it. 19 lakh people are completely left out of the list. Now, the actual politics enters the chat. The BJP looked at the list and exclaimed, "Wait, this is not what we expected and wanted. Where is our agenda and propaganda?" Now they claimed legitimate citizens were excluded while illegal immigrants made it through. It's just like a situation where you created your own talent show, you set up the judges, but after the results came out, you complain about your own appointed judges. Do you remember this quote from Amit Shah's rally?
एक एक घुसपैठिए को चुन चुन कर बंगाल की खाड़ी में डालने का काम ये भारतीय जनता पार्टी की सरकार करने वाली.
Such strong words. But the results actually did not match the rhetoric. Almost in the same time, in December 2019, Citizenship Amendment Act CAA was passed. This promised fast-track citizenship for Hindus, Christians, Buddhists, Parsis and Jains from Pakistan, Afghanistan and Bangladesh. Did you just notice which community was missing? Muslims. It's just like creating a safety net but community specific. If you have not watched my CAA video, click on the I button and watch the video. But wait, there's more. Before NRC comes NPR, National Population Register. Think of NPR as the entrance exam and NRC as the final result. NPR records everyone, citizens, non-citizens, your foreign friend who has been crashing at your place, but at least for 6 months. It's just like taking attendance before deciding who gets to stay in the class. Here's how it actually works. First, they conduct house-to-house surveys. Then, local officials verify your documents. If they doubt your citizenship, you get marked for further inquiry. Obviously, you then get few days to prove your belonging here, ironically in your own country. But in December 2019, the government approved rupees 3,941 crores for updating NPR. Now comes the disturbing part. If you fail the NRC test, where will you go? You will land up in a detention center. Government is building camps to detain people who will fail to prove their citizenship. Detention centers are operational or under construction in Assam, Karnataka, Maharashtra, Punjab, Rajasthan, Goa and Delhi. The Assam center in Goalpada costs rupees 46 crores and can hold 3,000 people, and it's the size of 7 football grounds. The 2019 Model Detention Manual specifies 10 feet high walls with barbed wire, watchtowers, separate enclosures. It reads like a prison blueprint, not a temporary shelter. And that's not all. Here's the chilling part. Families are separated, men, women and children are housed separately. Just imagine the scenario. You are being told that you are not at all an Indian citizen. You are held captive in a prison-like structure and also separated from your family completely. So the big question is, where does NRC stand today? After all of the drama of the government, massive protests and international criticism, what is government doing right now? Prime Minister Narendra Modi stated in his speeches that there had been no discussion on NRC anywhere. They only had to implement it in Assam to follow the Supreme Court's directives. But the CPIM leader Prakash Karat alleged it to be disinformation by the government. He clarified that the NPR was the first step of the NRC process. The NPR was supposed to be conducted from April to September 2020, but everything got delayed due to obvious reasons in 2020. Some states like West Bengal put their detention center plans on hold. The CAA and NRC protests saw millions of people on the streets to protest and raise their voices against this type of acts. Shaheen became a symbol of resistance. This brings us to the ultimate questions. Is NRC really about illegal immigrants, or is it just a tool for demographic engineering? Why build detention centers before completing the process? And the most important, in a country where millions lack basic documentation, how do you prove you are Indian? Just remember, many people got displaced. Actually, millions of people got displaced during partitions. So their documents got lost, destroyed, or they never existed. So how do they prove, especially the elders, that they are actually the citizens of India with which documents? And last of all, the NRC story is far from over. It's a complex intersection of security concerns, political strategy, and human rights. Whether it's about protecting borders or just changing demographics, that's for you to decide. Whether you will use your brain or you will just fall for mere propaganda of political parties, that's for you to decide. And until next time, keep questioning, keep learning.